So like I mentioned, at any point, if you have something to say, just make use of the comment box. I will be much available to take on comments today. So the one thing I want us to start with today is I want us to download a file. So I'm pasting the link on the comment box. I'll also paste the link on WhatsApp so that we can download the file. So I'll need to walk everyone through how to get the file downloaded. So when you click the link, it should take you to the GitHub repo where we have the project. So when you want to get to this repository, I want you to download it. So when you download, it will download as a zip file. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, when you download, I need to be able to work well. Okay, so I already have the file on my system, but I will also download so that I have the same experience as it is. It's downloading. I want to see where. So let me look at where the file is on the system. Okay, so this is the zip file. So let's unzip the file. So after unzipping, so I already created the snippets of the code. So if you open the snippet, you see the body, then you see the head. In the head, we'll see before and after. Then if we go through the body, we'll see the nav. So I know I shared this file sometime in the morning. Let me see if I can bring it up again. So this is what the project structure looks like. We'll be working on the header. Header is where we'll have the meta tag. Then the body is where we'll have the nav bar. We have the homepage banner. We have section 1. Section 1 will display our passion. Then section 2, let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. Yes. So basically that's what we'll be doing. So yesterday, for those who are not part of the conversation yesterday we talked about, we spoke about tags, HTML tags, and how it all relates to what we see on the web. But today, we'll be building our content structure with the HTML tags. But the interesting thing is there's still another element of the web that makes it more fun. So let's assume I want to open the file. So the file that you downloaded, so we have to open this file with our VS Code. So normally what I do is I drag the file to the VS Code. I drag the file to the VS Code. Another way is I can open the VS Code and, okay, let me just do a new file. Let me try to close the one I opened already. Okay, new window. So I want to open the file that we downloaded. So what I need to do is I'll do Control or Command open, Control O, or you can go to the file and say open. So when you say open, then you have to go to your download file and locate the folder that you downloaded, which is this free portfolio design course.
Super, Jobamba Bashego. Islam is a
Oh,
new
have to meet someone. Okay, I think we've muted that person. Okay, so once you open, you should be able to see something like this. You should be able to see something like this. So what I was explaining is in the snippet, we'll see the body and we'll see the body, we'll see the head, but let's ignore this for now. We'll come back to it later. What we'll be dealing with now is just the HTML. Okay, just a minute. So I already created, so I'll be deleting this because I already have mine on my system. So I'll just quickly locate it. I think this is it. So as it is, there's nothing there. So the first thing we need to play with is, like we learned yesterday, for it to work, for us to tell the browser that, oh, I want to display HTML, I want to write an HTML, we need to declare our doc type. I know that some of us will still remember. We need to declare the doc type. So by declaring the doc type, remember we'll do our open, then exclamation. Okay, somebody is saying he's not hearing the exclamation mark, then we say doc type. Doc type. HTML, then the close tag.
Sorry, no, sorry. How did you get that? I mean, the starting that greater than sign. Don't mind my.
Okay, so I imagine you're using Windows, right? HP, right?
Yes, I'm using Windows.
Okay, so I think you have to hold your Shift key and your comma key. Comma is the greater.
Yeah, I did that. So after that.
Okay, so the greater than, right?
Yes, sir.
So the greater than is you hold your Shift key again, then the full stop button.
Okay.
Did you see that? Did it work?
Yeah, I get that. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we already declared the doc type. So declaring the doc type, then we need to declare HTML tag. Somebody's trying to talk. Okay, so we need to declare the HTML.
How did you get to where you are now? This options. How did you? What's the command?
So which of them exactly? Is it? Are you talking about?
After putting the greater than sign,
Okay.
and then how did you get to this doc type? I mean, what do we need to press?
Okay, so I just typed it. Okay, let me start again. Let's have it again.
Sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So I have the less than sign. Then I did my uppercase. So it has to be in the doc type have to be in capital letter, is case sensitive. So we have doc type like a normal letter. Oh, I didn't put the exclamation. So before the doc type, let's have the exclamation. Then lowercase, we have HTML. So this is basically telling the browser that treat this as the latest version of HTML. Because like yesterday, I said we have HTML2, we have 3, we have several versions. But if you don't tell the browser that, load the current version, the browser might be confused on which version to load. And there are some syntax that is on the latest version. If you don't tell the machine to load the latest version, there might be some conflict and it won't display as expected. So that's why it's always advisable to have the doc type declared. Now, so after the doc type, we need to wrap the entire content in an HTML tag. So we'll have our less than sign, we'll type the HTML, then we have the closing tag, the greater than sign. So if you're using VS Code, the moment you put the greater than sign, it will do autocomplete. Ferdinand is here to download.
I don't know what's wrong with my system. It doesn't automatically display once I put after greater than sign and then HTML. It doesn't show me anything. It's just there.
Okay, so if it doesn't show you, I think I'll later call you personally to see why that is happening that way. But let's type in manually. Okay. So
all right, sir.
So if you do the less than, greater than sign with the HTML inside, so we need to create the closing tag. Remember I said the closing tag difference from the opening tag is that the closing tag has /. So when you look at it, the difference between the opening tag and the closing tag is just a /. Oh, somebody said I am too fast. And I felt I was too slow. Okay. So are we all good? So I will assume that we are all on the same page. So the only thing I did here was to create an opening tag and a closing tag. So I want to create more space so that we can see. So in this tag is where we will now have everything we want to write, both the header and the body. So this thing is saying, when you dictate that, you should run with the latest version of HTML, that's HTML5. Run all the content in between this HTML tag. That's the meaning of what we've written so far. So the next one is we need to declare our header like we said yesterday. So just think about this thing as you have some tag, and those tags need to be rendered both with opening and closing tag. Even though there are some tag that does not have opening or closing tag, we'll be seeing those tags today. So we want to declare a header. So it's just like you saying you want to write the head. All you need to just write is normal head, the way you spell normal head. Remember to have your less than and greater than symbol. I wish I can disable my auto completion so that we'll type this thing manually altogether. So I want to do the closing tag, which is / header again. Okay, so Ferdinand, you say you're here to understand how to drag the VS Code to the file to the VS Code. So what you need to do is just open the VS Code and do either Command O or Control O, depending on the operating system you're using. So then you navigate to where your download file is. If your download file is on your desktop, navigate to the desktop. If it's on the download, navigate to download. Then you just open the folder, that's all. So when you click on the folder, just open, let me do something so you can see. When you navigate to the folder, I mean, wherever your folder is, just click on the folder and click on the open button. You'll be able to see what we have here. So now that we have our header, remember I said the head element is what tells the browser the types of, or the description of your website. So take, for instance, there are several tons of website. It is the header that tells the machine or the search engine that, oh, this site belongs to so person, this site belongs to so person. Treat this site this way, treat this site the other way. So that's the work of the header. The header give information to the browser on how to either treat the content or the information about the owner of the content. So that's what the header is all about. So what we'll just do now is, let's assume the website belongs to us. So what we need to do is we need to do title. So we need to give our site a title. So if you look at the title again, you have title, then you have the closing. In between, you just have my first website. Always remember that on your closing tag, you have the /. So once we're done, we need to create the body of our website. So body is spelled as body. So when you're closing it, just make sure you still have the / before the body. Now, so in this body is where we'll have all our content. So as it is now, I want us to check on the browser if we have anything. So I'm going to save. Then I need to copy the path. So all I'm doing is I'm right-clicking on the index.html and I'm copying the path. So when I copy the path, I'll go to my browser. I prefer to use Firefox. I'll just paste the path. So if you check the path is basically where we save our folder. So if you check it, you see Noah desktop tutorial. This is where I saved it. So wherever you save your file, it will just read the path. Then when we load, apparently we are not seeing anything. Wow, the page is blank. But if you look at the top of the browser, there's something showing, the title of our site. That's my first website. The reason why it's showing that is because we titled it my first website. If you don't give it any title, it won't show. The same thing here. If you look at this is the title of the page which we downloaded the file from GitHub. Another one is our Twitter handle. So that's the way it works. Now, so in the body, we want to declare our first tag, one, which is header, h1. So the h1 to have closing tag with a /. So h1, you have h1, it has /, then you have h1 with /. So in the h1, I'll put I'll just put something, my header. So if I save and go back to the browser and refresh, oh, something is showing. So let's have our paragraph. Remember, I said the paragraph again, we have the P, the less than, greater than, then we have the closing tag. Oh, I think I need to mute some people. Oh. Okay, we're good. So the P tag, I just hope that we're able to finish all of this within the time scope. So let's say this is our paragraph. Paragraph, yes. This is our paragraph. Let's check let's refresh. So now we have our header and paragraph. Pretty much good. So I just hope that our time Zoom doesn't kick us out any moment, but if they do, please kindly join again with same link that was used. I think we should be good with that. And if it doesn't work, I'll quickly paste another one on the WhatsApp group. So now I want to introduce us to styling. I know most of us will at this point ask ourselves that, is it how boring the web looks? Black and white, right? So how do we add style? How do we make it more friendly or more nice, aside what we're saying? So that's where the cascading style sheet comes in, the CSS. So CSS basically is what allows to transform the web. Because what the web used to look like before is just, okay, link, test, link, test, link, test. So there wasn't anything to make it look beautiful. But with the introduction or with the invention of CSS help us to style the look and feel of the website. And that's why when you look at websites, you see colors, you see positioning, you see all sorts of cool stuff. Without CSS, all this thing you're seeing, there won't be color, there won't be anything for you to see. All you just see is black text and links, but with the help of CSS help us to, beautify the whole thing. So in styling HTML, there are several ways to do it. There's inline styling, and you can also still have external styling. So let's give a try to the inline styling. So let's assume we want to add a background. We want to add a background to our entire browser. So let's try it on the body. Remember, this is the body. In fact, from here, this white space downward, that's the body, because that's the place that you get to display content for the user. So let's assume we want to give the background red. I know that's hard, but let's give it a try. So with inline styling, you need to declare it on the tag. You say, so style Please, I'm trying to mute our mics. In the event where you find your mic on mute, please kindly mute so that we can save our time. Okay. So you have your style. Normal style, the way we spell normal style, then equals to. Then you have, so because you need to, so for the style to work, there are several rules that govern some of the way these things work. Sometimes you might be curious that why is it like that? But the people that structure the program structure it that way so that the machine can understand what we're doing. So this style like this can't work. If I come to the browser, refresh, it won't work until I complete what is expected. So for that to work, we need to insert all our rules inside quotation. So this opening quotes and closing quotes. Opening quotes, closing quotes. So like 2 quotation marks. So by the time you have that, you can then say, oh, I want to give it background color, background. Then you have hyphen because it's 2 syllables, or 2 words rather, background color. So after the background color, you have your column. Then you have your red. After the red, you have your semicolon. It looks like a lot. So that's basically how to make it work. So let me try to break it down. So you're saying to the browser, okay, on this tag, I want this style. Now in the style, I want a background color. I want the background color to be red. That's what it is. So let's save, check our browser, and let's refresh. Oh, that's a lot of red. That's a lot of red. Okay, let's try purple. Okay, I think this is more appealing to the eyes. Oh, so somebody might say black color cannot go on the purple. It should be white. So let's assume we want to give our test again. We want to give the test color white. So we'll go to the header. We'll go to the tag, the specific tag that you want to give color. Then you do it again. You say style equals to opening and closing column. Then you have, so this time around, so we have background color, then we have color. So background color is for the way it sounds, background. If I say background color for the test, it will give the test background color. But if I say color, it will just color the test. So let's say color, then we have our column equals to, so the color, I want the color to be white, and semicolon. So what we did here again is we say on H1, we want our style, then we want our color, our test color to be white. So let's save and check. Perfect. So we can still say that, oh, my header is small. I want the size to be bigger. So instead of typing the style again, you already have the style declaration. All you need to do is to add whatever style you want. So the way it works is this, you're saying I want color white. This semicolon is, oh, when you're done giving it white, I'm closing this function, right? So let's assume we want to make the font size bigger. So font size column, the value that we want. So let's say we want 40 pixels. Then close. So if you look at it again, I said I want the font size to be 40 pixels. Then let's save and see. Oh, I don't think it's as big as I expected. Let's increase it. Let's say 100, so that it will be very visible. Exactly. So that's the size. Oh, let's now imagine that whoever we're designing for, or is saying, okay, I want the text to be in the center. Then we can still come back here. You know that this is a block of style. Then we say text align, then column, we say center. Then we close our block of style. So text align, column, center. Then we save. Let's check what's going on. Uh-oh, nothing happened. Something is wrong here. Text align. Oh,
Check the spelling of align. Align.
oh,
I
sorry.
think
sorry.
align ALIG.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, nice. Don't mind me. Like, there's another styling that uses that exact spelling. Okay, so that's like pretty much what we expected to, get in the styling of the page. But it's not limited to what I've just shown you. But all I've shown you is for us to really understand what is achievable. So let's say, for instance, I want to do maybe move further and say, I want to add a shadow. Let's say we want to add shadow to this. So I think before we even move to that, let me show us another type of styling. So the disadvantage with this kind of styling is you can see how unreadable this whole thing is becoming. So if I have to write several styling, here, then the whole thing will look so messy. So if I come back next time and I want to read my code, how on earth will I understand it? Right? So that's why we have another type of styling. So you can bring the styling here to the head and you just say style. So we'll do opening style, then close. If you look at it again, we have style, just the difference is the /. Okay, so we want to bring all the styles into it. So there are ways we can target the element. Take for instance, we know this is the body. We know this is H1, we know this is P. We can actually target them. We can target them here. So you can say body. So but this time around, we have to use curly braces. So curly braces is, have we exceeded the time? I just hope that they don't kick us out today. Okay. So this time around, when you're targeting, you need to include curly braces. So let's assume we copy this same thing, this background. You just copy it here inside the curly braces. So this is like a block of style. So you target the body. This is the opening and the closing. The reason is because the reason why you have these curly braces, I hope we all know how to, I know that some of our keyboards are in Chinese, so some of these things are hidden. So the reason why we have these curly braces is you might want to add so many style to a particular element. We'll see what I'm talking about. The way to tell the browser that, or the compiler that, look, add all this style to just this body, right? That's why you need a container. And that's where these curly braces play a very huge role. So let's say we'll delete this style on the body. And let's save. Let's refresh. No difference. Let me see if I can change the color to let's see pink. Okay. All right. So it works. So on this body, let's assume we are even done with the body. Let's style. Now let's copy all the style for the H1. So I know you can guess it already. So you just do H1, then your curly braces, open and close, you enter, then you copy all the style here, you cut it, and you paste it here. So because they are sort of like declaration that have beginning and end, to make it readable, you can just enter. I think it's more clearer now. Everybody will appreciate this kind of clarity. So I want to remove the style here. If I save and I refresh, I have the same thing. So the same way, we want to target the P. I just need to do P, open curly braces and close. Then I'll say test align, test align. We can even do right. Let's see what right look like. Oh, so this is it. We have our test to the right. So all the things we've been playing around with on Microsoft Word, bold test, align, and all of that. This is basically how we do it on the web. Although there are some frameworks that allow you to do drag and drop, you can still do the same thing that you do on your Word. But when it comes to a pure HTML, this is basically how it works. So you have to write a command to make your test to the particular position that you want. So basically, that's all for the styling. So at this point, we want to move to the project proper. So let's see how we can quickly go through what we have today. Do we have any question? Any question at all? So I will just copy this same code and I want to paste it on the message box so that anyone who wants to copy, anyone who couldn't follow can copy and just paste it on their test editor. That should be all. Okay. So in case you couldn't follow up, just copy and paste, run the code and see. I'm sure you have a better, same result like we do. If there's no question, so before we move on, I would seek all our indulgence for some of us who are here to follow our social media handle, please try and do that. So we need more. Actually, our target for this project is to get a certain number of followers. We know that we are giving this all of these things out for free, but at the same time, we still imagine we can get followers from this project, because this is just the beginning of some of the things we'll be rolling out. We'll have several things which will still roll out. So we're still, for us to meet our target on Instagram, at least we need like 18 more people to follow us. On Twitter, we need like 17 more people to follow us. So please, if you're here to, kindly do that. I'm pasting the link to our social media. Okay, somebody's asking, how can we get the full tutorial? It will be uploaded on YouTube. So if there's anything you miss right now, don't worry. Circulate the link again. So please try and follow us on social media handles. We are Instinct Hub on all the handles. Just try. Thank you so much. So now at this point, we want to move to the project properly. So I will have to delete. Oh, so I forgot to even mention, another way to style is through the external styling. So we could actually copy all the styles and save them in a file. So if you look at the right side, you see that I have a file called style.css. Style.css. So if I open it, this is what it looks like. So you see repetition of all those things we've been doing. Oh, I say, I want the fonts to be this, I want this, I want the container to be. So because of our time, the scope of this course will not really dive into how to create more of this thing. In our subsequent courses, we'll have a more detailed tutorial that will cover all of these things. But because of our time and the scope of the course, we'll just stick to just making sure that we have the kind of content we expect on our website. So I'll delete this. So I want us to, I'll delete. Yes?
Yeah, thank you so much. I did copy and pasted on check and see it. We only got the same thing. The same thing that we have pasted on the workspace.
Okay, like you copied what I sent on the message dialog,
Yes,
and pasted.
Yes, sir.
And you got, yeah. So the reason why I did that, I imagine that some people are unable to follow. So people couldn't follow, can just copy and paste on their own text editor to see that we are doing the same thing. Is that clear?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I said I just pasted the code for people who couldn't follow so that they can, copy and paste on their editor.
Okay.
All right.
I did exactly. And I wanted to check whether it gives me the
I hear you. Yes, I hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So you said you did the same thing. And
I wanted to check. Yes, I wanted to see the result on the outside, but what I saw is just the same thing that I copied on the editor. I pasted on the editor.
Oh, that you saw on your browser.
On the website. Yeah, exactly, sir.
So when you try to reload the web to your browser, you saw the same text instead of
Yes, sir.
HTML. I mean, you
Exactly.
saw the same text instead of, let me see. So instead of this, you saw just the tag.
Yeah, I saw just the same thing that I pasted on the editor. I didn't see this. I mean, what I'm seeing on your screen now.
Okay, so that's strange. What's the title of the file? Okay, let's do it this way. If you copy the parts this way, right? You copy the part from here.
Exactly. I copy part.
Can you share your screen? Let me see what's going on. Let me see if I can give you permission. So guys, please, let's we have to be our brother's keeper at this point.
Okay.
So I want you to request, so let me stop sharing my own file by my screen so that you can okay, so try to request to share your screen. Let me see what's going on there.
I've sent the
Okay, you've sent a request. Actually, I'm not seeing the request from my end.
let me send again. I've sent it again.
Okay. I'm actually not seeing any prompt from here. Okay, let me try to make you a host. I think you should be able to. Oh, yeah. Okay, so can you do a screenshot of what you're seeing? Let me even just do a screenshot.
Okay.
So that we can move on. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen again. So let's dive into the project proper. So what I want us to do now is let's delete everything we have on this our home. Let's delete everything, the index.html. Once you do that, then we'll go to snippets. Let's go to the snippet. Let's go to the head. So let's go to after, and let's copy the code. So when we copy the code, let's come back to index. Then we paste, and let's save. So I want to walk us through what we have. I know we have a lot of code here. So the first one, I've explained it before. This tells the browser, run the latest version of HTML, which is HTML5. Then we have the HTML that wrap the entire content that we have. So if you look at it, this lang means language. Which language am I writing the whole thing I'm writing? Of course, it's English. The EN represents English. Then this has a closing tag that wraps the entire thing that we are doing. So if you look at the closing tag, we have the forward slash. Now, the first tag after the HTML is the head. Like I said, the head tells the browser all the informations that it needs to run smoothly. It tells the browser the name of the owner of the site, and it tells the browser to load whatever function in terms of the style, and also the meta tag. So the meta tag is what allows us to, I think I need to show an example of what the meta tag works for. So it's meta tag that allow us to always view things on mobile. It's encouraged mobile friendly. So let's say I want H1, then I say I want to check, I want to check the viewport. So when I save, so I want to check the viewport, right? So now without this viewport, let's assume I comment it, that's I disable it, and I come back here and I refresh. There's really no difference, but let's see what happens. On the mobile. So the difference, so the function of the viewport is it tells the browser that regardless of whatever size, scale the font so that it will be audible for people to see. So this is mobile view of what we're working on. So let me bring back the viewport. Let me save, let me refresh. You see the magic. So it allows the browser to maintain the font size on all screens. You know, we have tablets, we have mobile screens, we have PC. So regardless of what the screen is, you will still be able to see it. So that's the work of this meta tag. So that's why you see the name of the name of the meta tag is viewport. Then the content, the width is equals to the device width and scale equals to 1.0. I know with time we'll get used to all of this, but that's basically the function of this meta tag. Then the title, so please change this title to whatever title you want. I decided to use my name, so change it to whatever, it might be your name. Change it to whatever you want. I need to be able to see. I'm not getting the audio anymore. Oh, I'm sure the rest can hear me. Try to check your connection and see if you can fix it from your end. Okay. So if we take a look at our structure, after the head, then we move to the body. In the body, the first thing we'll deal with is our navigation. So I don't want to start typing everything individually because our time is already far spent. So let's go to the body here. under the snippets, let's go to the body. Let's look for our nav. This is it. So these are nav. Oh, this is before. Let's go to after. So on the nav, we have header. So the header is where we'll declare, okay, this is the head of our content, where we would still use section. So if you check what we have here, so this navigation and the home page are embedded into the header, and that's what we'll say. So so you copy the entire, from this header to header end, you copy it, then you bring it to your home, your index.html, then you paste. Okay, great. So I imagine that this process should be seamless, because what we are doing right now is copy and paste. So what I will do is we'll do copy and paste, then I will explain, just so to make it easier, because if I start typing, then we might be bored. So let's save what we have, and let's see what it looks like. Oh, it looks nice. It looks really nice. So let's see what's going on, because all of a sudden we just have a very sweet color and all of that. But let's see what's going on. So in the first thing we had is, oh, we have a header. Now this header have a closing tag, and every other thing in it is a siblings, or a child element rather, to the header. And every other thing in here too. So we have another div. Like yesterday I said, the div is like a container. You use div to sort of like do your styling. Now, so the reason why I use this div is I needed to be able to style all this. Now let's say, let me remove the style sheet and see what it looks like naturally. In fact, this is what it looks like naturally. We have our links. So if you look at what's going on here, is basically repetition of everything I already told us. You have the opening div. This is the closing tab. This is the closing. If you look at this div inside, this is the closing. If you look at the nav, the navigator, this is the closing. Then if you look at this A tag, which is the link, this is the closing. So this one stands for the navigation. So if you look at almost every website, there's always a logo here. So that's basically what we've done. So this is our logo. So you can change this logo to whatever you want. You can change the logo to, change it to whatever. You can put your name. I put Nulat. This is Noah. I just put something. So just put whatever you want. If I want, I can put logo, just the word logo, even though it doesn't look nice. You see it? So let's return our style sheet. I will explain how the style sheet works later, but let's try to build the body of our test. So you have, the logo here, but I think I prefer the inlets. That's pretty much it. Is anyone lost? Any question? Leave a comment.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
With regards to your spacing that before you start typing, is it tabs you're using to take them in?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other question?
Look at the comment section.
Can you say that again?
The comment section. Someone dropped a question there.
Okay, so in the logo aspect, it's okay. It is possible to insert one company logo. Exactly, it is possible, but I do not have one. At least not for this project. So if you want to add, so let's take for instance, we want to add a logo instead. So all we just need to do is to insert an image. So let's quickly go to Google and say HTML image. In fact, just do HTML image or image tag. Several solutions will come up. So let's click the first one, which is W3 School, that you have to interact with every day. Okay, so this one example. Now, image can improve the design and appearance of a web page. What we want actually is to insert a logo, but our logo is in the form of an image. So this is example one. I want to see if there's an explanation to how it works. Okay, so HTML image syntax. In HTML, image are defined as image, as you can see. Now the image tag is empty. It contains attribute only and does not have a closing tag. So I was mentioning that there are some tags without closing tag. Image is one of them. So the source attributes specify the URL or web address of the image. Is either you have the image somewhere or you have the image in your file project. So let's assume that, let's see their own example. I don't know if they used, so let's see the example. Let's try. So this is the image they use. This image doesn't really work for a logo. Okay, let me see my file if I've worked on any logo recently. Okay, I think this is one Fido. So I want to copy this Fido, this very logo, into our project file. Where's this project? Tutorial. Okay, so I want to put it in our assets. I'll give it, no, I'll just paste it here. This name is really long. Let me just put logo. Okay, so so what I did, I just copied the logo. I brought the logo into the project file. There's an asset file. I just paste the logo there. So if I go back to the browser, to the test editor, and I locate where we have our assets here. Here's the logo. Where is it? Here. This is the logo. So let's assume we want to insert this logo into our project. Is not actually difficult. So all I just need to do is I need to get rid of this name, and I'll insert image, although it's not spelled as complete image. Then the source, that's the location of where the image is. Then the auth. The auth is in case if the browser cannot locate the image, what should be the description of the image? And sometimes you want to use the auth because that's what the search engine used to understand what the image is. There are some people that they cannot see. Visibility purpose, they can't see, but they can hear. So when they are using the voice command, the voice command does not know what the image is, but it knows whatever you put in here. So if I say my personal logo, right? That's the description. So right now we need to locate where the logo is. On the base of our directory, we have asset folder. So we can type it, assets. So we need to, the logo is actually inside the asset. So we have a /. Then because the logo is directly inside this asset folder, we can already see it. So I'll just type it out, logo.png, and that's all. Let's check it out. I imagine that it will be too big, but let's see. Oh, is massive. Now, if it's this big, we can actually control the size. So all we need to do is either come here and say, and start giving it maybe star, but we won't do that. We already created a file for our star. So there are ways to, I know you've been seeing class, you've been seeing ID. So what it means is, because you have several tags on the page, you need a way to be able to target one element specifically. Now, before the end of our project, we'll have several images. So if I go to the style and I say, and I write and I target image, it means that it will affect all the styling for the image. So the reason why we now use classes and ID is to enable us say, oh, any element that have the specific name is what I want to do something to. So let's say we want to add another class here, equals to, then let's say my personal, you can name it anything. You can name it anything as you think. My personal logo. I can as well say, okay, I only have one logo on the side. Logo. So that's the class name. Then once you come here, so we can directly, so for you to target class name, it has to be period. If you want to target, there have to be like a dot before it. So if you want to target the tag, you can just type the name of the tag. Maybe H1, that's the tag. The moment it has dot before it, you're saying you're targeting a class. But if you have hashtag before it, it means you're targeting an ID. I don't want to bug you with all of these things, but it's worth nothing. So what we are targeting is our class logo, our curly braces. So we want the logo to be smaller, as it is big. So let's say we want the width equals to, not equals to, that's column. We want the width to be 40 pixels, and the height be 40 pixels as well. Let's check it out. Refresh. Oh, see the magic? So it's possible. So for the question, it's possible to insert an image. It's possible to, in fact, on the web, everything is possible. The only thing you need is you need to have the understanding that it's possible. What we did was we searched that, oh, how did we even search? Let me see. We say HTML image, and we got it. The same thing, so whatever you're looking for, just search through it. There'll be several options, there'll be several solutions. The most places that every developer visits more is W3C and some other renowned places for. And another place we can check through is I will talk about that later. Let's just move forward. Okay, so I'll retain this. I'll retain the image. I'll retain the image. So you can look for, so what I just did was to add this logo class. And when I added the logo class here on the image, then we declare where our logo will be located. In fact, we can look for an image on the internet. Let's even say I Google logos. Let's see what Google will give us. Tons of logos. Let's say I pick this. All I just need is to copy. I know it's for sale. Or I'm looking for a standalone image. I don't think that's possible though. Okay, let me see if I can copy. I just want to show us that it is possible for us to copy. Okay, let's see the image that these people used. Oh, they actually used. Okay, so don't mind what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to show you that you can copy an image from the web. Okay, so I saw one image. Oh, okay. This. Okay, I have two source files. Okay, there we go. So if I check, you can say, so like you can, it's all your choice. Just think about what works. I want to revert. I think I prefer this feeder logo. Yeah, so let's move on. So the next section is, let's check it out, is our home page banner. The home page banner.
So excuse me. Hello, Mr. Noah.
Yes.
Did not explain the JavaScript part.
Yeah, so
That JavaScript.
so I will talk about the
reference.
JavaScript later. JavaScript will be the last thing I'll talk about. All right?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So let's move to the on-page banner. We'll still go to where we have our snippets. So we still go to where we have the navbar. No, okay, it's the on-page banner. Let's go to after. Oh, there are several things even going on the WhatsApp that I didn't see. Oh, somebody is confused. Sorry. I can't access the online class.
That's long ago.
That's long ago, man. Okay. Sorry. Let's continue. Okay, so let's copy. So this is what I want us to copy on the banner. So let's just copy from, you see the home page, I think from line 32. Let's copy from line 32 to line 48. Line 32 to 48. So I'll be pasting it exactly on the line 42 here. On the home page, that's the index.html. I actually copied the comments. So let me delete one of them. Okay, so on the comments, still the same block of code. We have container, so this is actually the container. So I gave you the class just to know what the thing is doing. This is container, there is also a banner. This is so in this container, we have two blocks of code. We have the image and we have the banner test. So let's save and check what we have. Oh, here we go. So I know that you guys can't have my image there, so let's change it. So if you have any image on your system, all you need to do is go to wherever the image is on your system, then locate the project folder. Locate the project folder and locate the assets. So you need to change this picture. You can give it the same name. But I realized that I used .png for my file extension. Yours might be JPEG. That's still fine. So you need to replace this image with that of yours. You can do that later, Sha. You can do that later.
Mr. Noah, how do you position the picture? Like, how do you tell how do you give the instruction that this is the particular position on the website that you want the picture to be?
Okay, so let's check that. So, like I said, if you check, this is a block of code, this is a block, and this is their container here. So I use the div to wrap the test section. You see div, the opening div, the closing div. Then I also still use another div to create, another div to create the opening and the closing for the image, right? so that I can group. So it's think about it like you're grouping, and your grouping is set of elements, because I want to be able to tell the browser that take everything in this box, either take it to the left or make it float and make all this. So without putting them in a container, you have to write a command for each of these things one after the other. It won't be consistent that way. So that's why we always play with div to hide those things inside so that we can position them as we want. Okay, so because I have grouped these things into two, so that's why you see this is group 1, this is group 2. Let's check it out again. So how was I able to do this? Let me show you on the CSS. Let's check it out. So on the banner, I said to, of course, I target H1. So if you see what I did here, I say banner test, then H1, then span. The reason why I did this, in fact, let's remove this. Let's see what it looks like. Let's remove just that. Then let me refresh. You can see what the first thing is looking like. The reason why I did it this way is you'll notice that for every of the tests inside the H1, ideally all the things we've been writing in H1 does not have span. It's just header in an H1. But I have it this way because I want to be able to style these things individually. And I don't want to have several H1 because all these things belong to one title, right? But I want to be able to play around them. I want this to be bigger, smaller. I want this to be bigger. And they are still one header, right? So that's why I wrap them in a span. You see, this is one span, this is another one, and this is another one, right? So in targeting them from my CSS, I know that I don't want my H1 to conflict with any other H1. So I want to be specific. So I say, let's see how we have it. Let me see if I can split my screen into two. Okay. Okay, so I have my HTML here. I have the CSS here so that we can compare. So now I said, in targeting the first span, which is this one, I said, look for banner test, which is this. Remember I said every class will have a period. So I say in that banner test, there's an H1 inside, which is it. I said in that H1, there are span inside, right? I say that those span, I want you to display them as a block element. The difference between block element and inline block element or inline element is they don't maintain one line, and that's what it is here. Let's check it again. So you see, they are not maintaining one line for themselves. So the block allows them to say, okay, take one line entirely, you take one line. So that's what this line, this is all about. So for the margin, I said, I want to have a margin at the bottom of every span. Let's check it out. Oh, I've not saved. I think I need to have this close. Okay. So now without that space, let's see what it will look like. You see? So that bottom padding is like the line height we know on our various Microsoft Word. So with that space, we have, space underneath. So moving forward, let me just move you to how I was able to move one banner. Okay. So there's a property we call display flex. In fact, let's Google it and see what. I will just use normal term that we'll be using. Position HTML. In fact, that's okay. Let's check, let's see what we will say. Okay, position. Oh, it should be display, not position. Display HTML. Okay, so we have the display I was talking to you guys about. We have none, inline, block. I think the one we are looking for is flexbox. Display flex. So I think I remember where our display flex is. So this is it. This is the command. This is the style that enables our banner to display to the right and to the left. Let me show you what I am talking about. So the moment I disable, let's assume I cut away, I delete it. Let's see what it looks like. Can you see? Right. But let's talk about how that works. So what I told the browser is, now this is the container for the two grouped elements. This is the container for the two group elements. And now say in banner, and I said in banner, I want you to display those elements as flexbox. Let me see if the flexbox has open. Let's see if we can get definition for flexbox. All of these things, we can read about them later. They are really interesting. As you can see, look at this. Display it on a very straight line. So you can have, let's even see how these people achieve this. You see that they have this container. They have this container. They now have container for every letter. For every letter. If I edit this thing and I add maybe 9 inside another div, in fact, I might not even use div. I can go ahead and say, oh, because they already styled the div to have all this color, let me still also use div. So if I say div 9, div,
Marcus slash.
yeah. I figured that out. Okay. Apparently our 9 is showing. So if you look at it very well, it's basically, that's very simple. The command that was just used is, display flex. Now you see this flex wrap. If I change this flex wrap to, instead of no wrap, to wrap, can you see? So what they used before, they said, don't wrap it, make everything on the straight line, right? That's where the no wrap comes in. I mean, that's pretty much it. You can always come back here to see, to read more. Let me see if I can post the link here. So you can check for the link later. Okay. Let me try to minimize the tab. So moving forward, so I think that's pretty much the explanation to why how we can float our contents, right? Okay. So let's move forward. The next on is section 1. Section 1 that describe our passion. So let's go in search of section 1. Section 1 actually is. So let's go for the after. So on the after, I think there's a problem here. Okay, so under section 1, I actually have the wrong, I didn't include it. So let's go to section 2. It should be in section 2. After. Okay, so we can pick section 1 from section 2. So let's just copy the section 1. So on our own time, let's don't try to play hard on ourselves in getting the test right. We can always visit again. We can always visit again and check for a proper description of yourself, then replace it with all the tests that I have so that you can personalize it. So after copying the section 1, let's go to our index to paste it. Okay, so under section 1, yes. So if we still look at it again, almost the same thing. We have section. Section is a normal tag that tells the browser that, oh, from this place to this place is one section, right? Then we have another div container. Then we have 2 blocks divided by div. Inside the block, we have h2. Then we have p tag. Then we have, so this segment is just for people to call us, reach us. So if you see it, these 2 types of content, you always see this grouping when developers want to position the content either left or right. So if I want a behavior, a peculiar behavior, a behavior to happen to a set of content, I need to find a way to group them. So which means you need to wrap them in a tag. You need to make sure that those things are wrapped in a tag. Now with tab, I know that at some point I position this left and right. So let's save and see. Oh, nice. We are making sense. So if you check the grouping again, you see that this is group one. This is another group, right? And how do we achieve that? We use diff as a wrapper, this as a wrapper. Then we now target this container, section one container. Then we say display them flex. So when you say display flex, is okay, make them 2 columns. Okay, so this is the end of section 1. Do we have any questions, or we should move on to section 2? There's no question. Let's go to same section 2 that we copied. Is this section 2 that we copied the other one after? So let's look for section 2. Section 2, yes. So we can copy. So what I did was I did section 2, then end section 2, just for it to be easier for us to view. So you can just keep your cursor here, then you come to the end and you hold down your shift key, then you click, it will highlight everything. Then you copy. So let's go back to our index. Let's paste it after section 1. Okay. So let's look through what's going on here. I think this section have another tag entirely that we've not seen before, and that's figure. Let's Google it and see what we'll get. HTML figure. So you always see, if you search anything about the web, you always see like 2 or 3 URL that will come up, and those are the people that are really known for the solution so far. So this is, so the figure actually is an element to mark up a photo in a document, a figure caption element to define the caption for the photo. So we have fig, we have under figure, we have image, then we have the caption. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, the internet is slowing us down. Let's see. Okay, so let's save and check our browser what we have. Let's check it out. Okay, yeah, so this is it. So we have cool. I had a cool effect that shows. So let's see how all these things work. All of these effects. So same, we have the section, we have another div which serves as container. This is the closing tag. The reason why you keep seeing this 100 100% width on every container is the reason why we have this end-to-end 100%. Let me remove it on this section 2 and let's see what we'll get. Oh, I think we should do, let me don't do it there because it's white. You might not be able to really see what's going on. So let me do it on section 1. So that's what it looks like, right? So the two tag airports to maintain that 100 viewport, I mean 100% wide, you know, 100% wide. Okay, then I say put it a background of so color. Okay, so for this figure, for us to understand what's really going on here, we have the figure, which apparently is our image, is this icon here. That's the figure you're seeing, the icon. And that's why you see I gave it, you see the name bubble charts, you see the class given to the figure, this icon. Then if you look at we have H3, you see that there's an order to which I use the H tag as their hierarchy. So this is like, you will notice that from the beginning, we only have one H1, which is, of course, every document always have one header. Every other header is subordinate or is subheader to the main header. You can have several subheadings. You can have another 2 level down headers in multiple numbers. But for H1, it is advisable that it's 1 because every document should have a general header. So that's why you see that we have multiple H2, then deep down again, we have H3. So it's based on the hierarchy. So this is H2, this is H1, I mean H3. So if I have another content maybe inside, there needs to be an header. I'll make it maybe H3, I mean H4. I can still make it H. So the more you go deeper, the more you use the H tags. So that's just that's the sense. Another significant about respecting those syntax is, like I explained yesterday, the search engine search in that order. So you're making your content, you're giving your content more chances if you follow those hierarchy. Now, so you see that I have boxes. This is box 1. This is box 2. This is box 3. Like I told you before, you always put things in a box when you want to have the same behavior. And that's what is going on here. Because I know that I want to be able to do something here. So I need to group it together. I have the image in the icon, I have the H3, then I have the description, right? So I had to put them in a container, and that's a div. So that's the major idea around all of these things. If you want to perform a particular action on a group of elements, wrap them in a div. If you want to create a section, wrap them in a section. So if I can go ahead and say section 2, I can make it, what can I even do to this section 2 to make it? I can hide it. So let's say section 2. Let's look for section 2 on our style. Section 2. So I can come and say section 2 display none. I don't want to see it. If I refresh, section 2 is gone. Can't see it anymore. I can see hide section 1. I can say section 1 display none. If I refresh, it's gone. So the reason why I'm able to just pick one section and the entire thing is gone is basically because they are in scope. They are grouped. And that's why if I target the body that house the entire content, then we won't be able to see anything. If I say body, I didn't put period before it because it's a tag, not a class. If I say body display none, and I save, I won't see anything. So that's the idea. So think about what you want to do as a block. Let me remove all these things. So the same, you can imagine the lower level. This is a block, right? You're not saying, oh, I want to add several things together. I want it to have figure, icon. I want it to have paragraph. Well, I want them to be together because I want to do something with them. Then I put them in the box, which is a div. Oh, I know that I have several boxes, and I want to be able to do something to all of them. That's display them. That's display them on a vertical form. So I put them in a container. That's a div. So that's the pretty much all the things we've been doing. So after you put them in a box, all you just need to do is come to your CSS and say, oh, how do I make this thing display in a box or hide it from people so that people won't see it. I think that's pretty much it for section 2. So on our way to section 3. So somebody's asking a question, sorry for disturbing. Is the same method applicable for inserting image apply to inserting of videos on the portfolio? Perfect, it's the same. All you just need to do is walk to your Google. Google has made things easier. Where is my search? HTML video. Anything you think about at all, just search for it. So that's the secret that we developers use most times. There are points you get to that you won't be able to really see result, but I mean, for the beginning stage, almost everything is there. So you see, you have the video opening tag. This is the closing tag. Then you have the source file. Where is the video located, right? So you have the OGG format, MP4. You know, if the user's browser can't view it, this is the message that will display. Your browser does not support the video tag. You know, so just Google it, and at the end you can still try it and try it out, right? So this width and height can be experimented. Like you can say, I want the width to be 400. Let's run it and see. It's getting bigger. I want the height to be 300. Oh, nice. So that's all. Okay, so let's move on. If there's any question, just leave a comment. I'll look through it and walk you through. So we have this section 3, which highlights our achievements. Let's check it out. Section 3, let's see after. So let's copy it from line 101 to 134. This is like 408. Time is really gone. I think we're almost done. Okay, so let's paste it on our 101 here too. Okay, so this is pretty much straightforward. We have a section that, oh, we want everything in the section. In the section, we now have a container that houses the H1, the H2. Then in the H2, we have another container that houses all the images. Then we have the figure. We have the figure, almost the same thing with the previous session. In the figure, we have the p tag. So instead of this p tag, I could as well use, is it the fig caption? Let me see how that works. If it won't get rid of my styling, I'm supposed to use fig caption there. Okay, it works. It works. So I can as well change all this P. It's not supposed to be P. It's supposed to be, so if you, that's why when you check what we saw, HTML figure, you see that is fig caption. So I used P tag. So that's like abusing syntax because it's not a paragraph, it's the description, is the caption of the image. So let me replace it. So you can replace it with yours too. You can replace it. Or the P under the image. I think this is the last one. Okay, so when we check, if I check now, everything still works. Everything still works as expected. The reason why there was no change, ideally, then I said that we could target the tag, but imagine I have a P tag here. If I had style P tag individually, you can imagine how many P tag we have, many of them. If I now give a rule, it will affect all the P tags, right? So that's why instead of me now attaching my style to the P tag, I created a caption class. So the only time whatever style I put on this thing won't work is when this tag is not there. So let's delete it for the first one. Let's see the behavior. Let's delete the class for the first. You can see. So immediately everything went bad. And you might be wondering like, oh, how did this thing, there wasn't really something much happening here. So let's look for the caption tag, caption class on our style. Okay, so this is it. these are all the style that is making this thing appear the way we are saying it. So the first place I say, I want the caption tag to display as block. I want the text align to be center. That's why you can see the text, the center. If I eventually change it to left and refresh, everything goes to left, right? So if I say I want it back on center, then I say I want padding. I want padding, the padding top and bottom and right. I want it 10 and 15. If I remove this, you see? So the padding gives rooms all around, right? So the background, of course, we know what the background does. The position, absolute. So absolute position says, I want this to float and I want to position it at the bottom of the image instead of directly beneath the image. So let's remove it and see what it looks like. You see? So after making it absolute, I said, if it's position absolute, I want it to be both 10 pixel bottom to move up a bit at 10 pixel. Let me remove it so that we see what's worth. Oh, it's actually not going anymore. See? So it is this 10 bottom pixel. So I'm saying move this element up a bit by 10 pixel. We know what this, so the color, I mean the font size, 1M. So 1M is still equivalent to, so 1M is equivalent to 12 pixel. You shouldn't notice any change. Yeah. Oh, it's a bit smaller. 24 pixel. $16. Yeah. So I won't be able to really explain the difference between the hem. We have percentage. I can even say I want the font to increase by 10%. Oh, that's small. I want it by 50%. That's still really small. And I know, so what's controlling this is because at some point I have declared the font size before. So it's doing 10% of this or 50% of that. Okay, so let's go back to our 1M. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so moving forward, we're almost there. We have section 4, which is the last section before the, I know sometimes this might be tiring, but there's really a benefit to it at the end because at that time, you'll be used to all of these things already. I think something is wrong here. Even the section 4 is really not correct. Okay, I think we should just go to footer. I'll update all of these things and re-upload. Let's go to footer. So let's go to after. Is there something? Oh, it's correct actually. I forgot I opened to, I was looking at this place, but it's happening here. So let's go to section 4. Yes, so this is section 4. So I'll copy it. I'll come back to, so looking at section 4, really the same thing. You have your section container, then you have your H2, then we have our form. The form here allow people to, I know someone asked about the form. So let's see what the form is. So for the form, you're saying to the browser that I want form here, but the input, so I want the input of test, the name of the input, the name I want to store it on the server is full name. Then it is required, then the placeholder, full name. Another input, I want it to be email. I want to get the user email. The name is email. The ID is email. We will be done. We should be done in like 15 more minutes. We should be done. Yes. So test area. I want message. I want ID. So the last input is type, submit, send. So let's check it out. Save. And that's it. You have your form, you have your placeholder, which is full name, email, you have our test area, then people can send us email. They won't be able to send us email right now because we've not configured it. If you want more tips about the form, you can always say, go to Google HTML form, and you'll see lots of information about it. So let's check out the last, which is our footer. Our footer should be here. So when I copy the footer section and I paste, yeah, so what's going on in the footer is, oh yeah, the footer is a container. And the email is in the p tag. Oh, email me at, then a link. Then, so what's happening here is, you know, there are some instances where you click on people's email and it prompts you to start typing the email. Let's check it out. Because I know that people want to email us anyways. So instead of copying the email and going to your email box, when you click, it will just open, oh, where's this dialog box? It will just open this, and whoever is trying to email you, just email directly. You can check it on your own end and see how it works. So we have our social media links, all of this. So there are a tag, image is embedded just like the way we did the logo. We have our LinkedIn, so if you look at it, this is the opening tag for the link. This is the closing tag. Then this is the image tag. This is self-closing tag. So the alt, which is the description, is Facebook icon and all of that. So at the end, we have our copyright. So you can change all of this information to just go through it again, play with all the white text, change the white text to look like what you want it to be. Then when we check, still the same thing, we have our site. We have our site already. So one thing I'm here to show everyone is when we check, so sometimes you might want to understand what's going on under the hood. You really want to know how to debug. So if you check, if you right click, inspect element, I'm sure that's the way they have it on Google Chrome as well. Inspect element, you should see something like this. So this is another segment where we can debug and do so many cool things. Well, I won't be able to really cover them. I'll be doing a course later that will cover all of these things so we can, so instead of rushing all these things at once, we can take it at our own pace without being rushed. So, but we want people to be able to use our application on mobile. So if you check by the side, you will see a mobile view. You see a mobile view, so you can address what you want to see at the top. If your own is not showing the way, mine is showing, just indicate so that, because I know some can show by the side this way, but still the same thing. You have, once you click on the mobile, you can edit the view. But we want people to be able to click and see our menu, right? That's where JavaScript comes in. JavaScript is a powerful framework that is a powerful language that, I mean, almost all the browsers, there's no browser that does not use it. But I'll only just copy a chunk of it and paste. I just hope that be able to really understand it, because it's another aspect on its own, but it's fun to learn actually. So let's check it out after. So this is it. This is our script that will enable us to click this and it will drop down. When we click it again, it should go off. So let's check it out. So I went to the footer after, then copy, there's a script under. Let's go to, so the last, before the body tag, let's paste it. If I save and I refresh, so that's it. So both on mobile and on desktop, people can see what we're doing. So let me see if I can do on desktop it to change. And so what's going on is we wrote a function that target the button, which is this icon here. So we say on click, whenever the button is clicked, we want to check for, let me see if I can. Whenever the button is clicked, we want to check for these elements. We get the element by the ID, which is the ID name, you can see. Then we now say if the class name is equals to top nav, which is this, right? Add responsive class to it. And if else remove the responsive class. So that's why this is more complicated, but I will, like I said, I'll be doing a later course that will, I'll do a later course that will help us. But we just need to know that JavaScript help. So in summary, really, while CSS, while HTML allows to display, let me see, why HTML help us to display the text, CSS on the other hand help us to beautify it, and JavaScript help us to add functionality or interactivity to our application. So that's like the summary of all the things we've been doing. So on your own, you can just go through all the tests, edit it, and personalize it. You can always on the WhatsApp group ask questions, and I'll walk you through, and every other guys in the group too that have the experience will be able to help. But the last thing I want us to do is, as it is, our users will not be able to submit form. If they submit it, let's put something, name, Noir Olatoye, email, test email, email@gmail.com. Thank you for taking this course. Okay, if I send, yeah, nothing happened really. It doesn't go anywhere because, let me show you guys this action. So in a form action, you have post and you have get. So it's either you're posting the form that somebody is filling to the server, or you're getting, right? So right now, we are really not posting to anywhere, but there's a service I want us to use. The name of the service is form pray. So I'm pasting the, I've pasted the, everyone, I've pasted the, so let's go there. I want us to create an account, because this is where, this is a virtual server that once they send us an email or once they fill the form, you need somewhere to house the form, right? So this is where a free form service that will allow you to, so if you check their demo here, they say write your HTML and just, you put the action and you put the method, which is we are posting to the server, then you're just pointing the form to their server and they will do the rest. So what they will do for you is they'll send it to the registered email. So as somebody is filling your form immediately, you're getting the email. That's really cool. So let's check it out. Let's check their plan. Now, so we are going to be using the zero plan. Nobody's going to pay money right now. So for the free plan, you have unlimited forms. You have 50 submissions every 30 days. So like every 30 days, for every submissions you get, it will last for 30 days before they will erase it from their own data or from their server. The cool thing about this is they've already sent it to your email anyway, so you can always go to your email even when they delete it from their server. So let's try to create an account. Is everybody there? So in creating an account,
Yes.
Okay, so let's sign up. You can put your email. Just put email and your password. I'm imagining that I have an account already, so I don't want to create another one. Let me see if I can log in. So while I'm trying to log in, you create an account. Oh. Form free. Okay, I think I will have to create another account really. I think I have done this before, but so let's all create accounts. So I will use my Instinct Hub email. Now, okay, I'll use my Instinct Hub email. Noor and Olatwe. InstinctHub.com. So I want to use my auto-generated password. I understand the terms and conditions. So okay, so the next is for us to create a form. In order to create, you must at least one link, please add and verify an email. Oh,
Verify your account.
so I've been expecting the email, but I didn't get anything. Let me see. Where's Noor?
Give an update.
Or okay, here I have it. Okay, so let's check it out. We are cars. I think this is it. I have 4 cars. Okay, the email is now verified. So let's check it out. Login. Okay, so when you click on the name, you can either click here or click here. Either works the same way. So you want to give it the form name. So I can say, I can give it portfolio site, portfolio message. So I want it sent to this. You can create. That's it. So what they even did is they'll give you a sample form for you can copy this same thing and go and paste on your, but we just want to copy this alone because we've created our form already. So let's just copy the action and the method. Let's take it to, so the difference between everybody's form is this secret key. This secret key is what help to post to your server. So I want to just replace my own action on the form. That's on line 140. Yes, and I have it. So I want to save. Let's check it out. So I want to check for, so let me try and submit. Full name, I have Noor, email, test email, thank you. I believe you guys are testing yours. Thank you. Okay, let me send it and see if I'll get something. Oh, thank you. So submitted successfully. So these have saved us from writing all sorts of either PHP server-side language to accept our forms, working with email exchanging and all of that. So this pretty much save us from some SMT. So I want to check the email, whether something came. Of course. So this is it, the full name, email. So you can have as many input as you want. I only just want their full name, email. So if you like, you can say add location, you will still see it. So let's check their dashboard if we have something for us. The network.